welcome to another episode of Stuck in My Mind podcast. I am your host, WIZE, and today's guest is the definition of perseverance with purpose. He came to this country not speaking English. He's battled trauma, addiction, ADHD, PTSD, discrimination, and even came close to losing everything financially. But instead of letting life break him, he chose to rise. Now he's the founder and CEO of the Flow Group, a company creating affordable, accessible hearing tech for seniors and people with disabilities, including those who can't afford traditional hearing aids. His work is changing lives. His story is pure resilience. Family, help me welcome Michael Leung to this Stuck in My Mind podcast. Hello,
Hey,
Michael.
thanks for having me.
Oh, pleasure's all mine, man. I'm excited to talk to you and hear your story and all the wonderful things you're doing out there, man. But
Me too.
so when you think back to the version of you struggling the most, what would you tell him now?
I would definitely tell him, don't take shortcuts. Really work hard. My old way would be just trusting other people, investing in things that other people tell me it's a good idea, and a lot of times it didn't turn out that way. So lost a lot of friendships over that trust. A lot of trust was broken. A lot of money was lost, and now obviously my own company, I do everything, from sales, marketing, import, exporting. I do presentations, testing of products, trademarks, like just everything. I learned how to build a website, by myself, online e-commerce and everything. So it's been great, just like a learning process, because I'm just absorbing it all in. Every day I'm learning something new. Um, and I think it's everyone should actually do something that they're passionate about. Find something they can actually relate to other people. In my case, obviously, because I'm partially blind, I was able to ponder some ideas and actually wanted to do something socially impactful. And so my product now, obviously, it helps people of all ages, right? It just happens I work with seniors right now, but it's a big market for seniors, and a lot of trust needs to be earned from the seniors industry, right? They're very easy; they can boot you out, right? So I was very lucky to be able to get in, and I'm just expanding all across Canada and hopefully global next year. So
How did being an immigrant child who didn't speak English shape the way you see yourself today and everything that's kind of molded you into the person you are today?
yeah, like when I came to Canada, it was I was only 6 years old, and obviously coming from you know uh, a country that's obviously very hot weather. You come to Canada, Calgary, it's minus 40, minus 30 with snow. So big change, and my family risked a lot to move over to Canada. So they're worried about the communist China taking over in '86, but they ended up not taking over for a little while after. So we left a little too early, but when we came. I looked different. I dressed different. I acted different. And I was lucky that I was accepted by my peers. So I kind of always thought of myself as the Fez of that '70s show of the group. Wasn't too cool, but then they accepted me and really molded me into. They taught me English. Obviously, like I speak English now perfectly. Um, and I didn't remember too much racism and discrimination in my early years, elementary, junior high. I remember I was treated quite well. It wasn't really till high school that it happened, and work related stuff. But um, yeah, I remember it was challenging, of course, but I remember I had lots of really good friends in the neighborhood, and we just hung out and made me feel really accepted.
Mm. So you've dealt with ADHD, PTSD, trauma, addiction. How has all this dealing with all this kind of how have you been able to like kind of take all this and bounce back and just use it as a motive as the driving force to get you to the amazing things we're doing right now with creating the hearing aid and
Yeah,
doing what you're doing.
it's been hard. Like I still go to therapy, every month. And I've been going through ADHD, PTSD. Probably most of my life. I just didn't know I actually had it, and I didn't have a term for it till recently. Um, but my ex girlfriend and I, we dated for 12 years. She was the one that kind of like really made me much better of a person. I was lost, and I've been through the trenches. I ran away since I was 14. I ran away for big periods of my time, getting in trouble. Um, Even went to juvie for a little bit. It was like just stealing and like fighting and stuff like that. But it that never changed me. Like that didn't even scare me, and I just kept doing it and doing it. Hung out with the wrong people, and it wasn't until I was probably like early 30s I started kind of snapping out of it. But that was when I was just partying and just drinking like all the time, and even when we broke up last year, I started drinking heavily again. This is just in the middle of my company. It's 2 years now, but it was like a 1 year anniversary kind of thing, and I just started just drinking heavily because we broke up, and for 3 weeks I was just like down and under. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I shut everybody off, and my friends kind of fished me out of the water, made me realize like I have a purpose, and that she would want to see me this way. That I worked so hard to be, I've worked so hard to change my life around, So um, they're like, it's just a bump in the road, and I actually used that as fuel. So it's crazy that after we broke up, and we remained good friends, right? But she moved to Vancouver, and I stayed in Calgary. So that didn't align at the right time. So when she got to get her, she was starting to become more independent. I was starting to get to be my own version of myself. I didn't, she helped me a little bit with my websites and like my visual stuff. But I took everything in after my creativeness started coming out. She didn't even know I could continue on with the website. I started building like little advertisements and like different like videos and stuff, and she's shocked, like that I could actually do that. It's just me coming out of my comfort zone. My ADHD is so severe, like I think my problem is texting. I text people essays, and it takes, and I've scared a lot of girls. It's scared like a lot, friends, but like that's just the way I am. So it's actually worked to my advantage for public speaking and podcasting because I could just go on and on, right? But like um, yeah, my I just had to start taking some medication just to kind of hone the special powers and try to like focus it on certain directions. Like instead of negative things, I try to think positive. That I'm actually doing something socially impactful and that I can help a lot of people globally. So all those things came into fact, and I became sober for 1 year too. Now I just cut drinking completely after I had my that talk with my friends. Right, I didn't even want to touch alcohol anymore. Not because I just had a problem. I never had a problem until like that time. It was just socially, but then I just thought I didn't want to like be hungover and just be like going to work and just showing up at presentations, doing presentations in front of seniors, looking tired and just being not myself. So it's been the best decision I ever made. So I don't smoke either. So now I'm just focused on health, mental health, physical health, and everything just kind of just aligned properly with work now. Yeah.
So you mentioned like turning your life around, and we sort of have a similar um, background as far as that goes, where we've come from some we've overcome some real hard times in our lives to get to where we're at, and like you, I'm self-taught in a lot of the things that I've done with my podcast. I've been able to launch the internet radio station. I've been able to launch a publishing company, a production company, and all this is me learning and growing and wanting to learn how to learning basically on the fly how to build a media empire, right? But it's been me working hard and learning certain things I want to know the information too. Like if there was something like with as far as podcasting go, when I started my podcast, I didn't know what a RSS feed was. I didn't know what a thumbnail was. I didn't have a clue. All I did was record a 7-minute audio, uploaded it because I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to step out of my comfort zone like yourself and do something that I had never done before. Because I was questioning myself. I kept saying, "Oh, who's gonna want to listen to me? I sound horrible. This isn't my like lane. I've never been in media. This isn't what I do." But I was like, you know what? How am I gonna know if I'm gonna succeed if I don't press record and release these episodes and finally step out of my zone, my comfort zone, and make myself uncomfortable and do something that I've never done before in my life. And so
Right.
I've been able to build this, and I didn't think of myself as a creative prior to podcasting. Like I played sports growing up, and I did some stuff, but I didn't think of myself as being a very creative person. And so when I started doing the podcast, it's like all these creative juices started flowing.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I said,
crazy.
it
It's
was like,
crazy like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, I was gonna let me do that. Everything I said I wanted to go do, I was like, yeah, I want to launch an internet radio station. I went
Oh
and
yeah.
did it. Said I want
Yeah.
to do this, and I
It's
went,
so much more fulfilling, right?
yeah,
After learning, you have so much stuff hidden, under a rock, and it just kind of comes out, and it's just way more fulfilling. And like I just didn't have to depend on people anymore. But because I've built this, it's like my baby now, right? Like I have a hard time letting it go to other people to try to handle certain things. So because I handle so much, I lack in my sleep, So that's what I'm trying to work on. So I
that's
had
it.
to, yeah, hire a social media team, and eventually I'll have to hire, a sales team, etc. So I can actually focus more on the, like more presentations and being there to pitch, like just to be do more creative stuff, like stuff I want to do, um, e-commerce. Like I'm trying to focus on e-commerce, trying to make it global, right? So we're shipping to 100 countries right now, and trying to do podcasting everywhere. Really, just Australia. I've done Germany, India, and people like this product. Everyone and anyone knows someone with hearing loss and sight loss. So 1.6 billion people in the world have hearing loss at some point in their life, right? Or currently. So from child, autism to seniors, dementia, war veterans. I work with all of them, blind athletes. So it's gonna fly out the moment. Um, the more podcasting I do, the more exposure. I got Legacy Makers coming out in January. That's a big global, um, TV show that's produced by some of the Shark Tank hosts, right? So, or producers, sorry, and Dragon's Den next year too. So I'm auditioning for that. So all these things, plus all these podcasting and all my physical appearances, have worked out pretty well. Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, I can imagine, and I can imagine the work, like, because I know me personally how I need to kind of let go of some of the reins and be able to focus more on the creative side of it and not focus, be able to build a team to help me build the business side of it so that I can focus on this part, the creative part, being able to do the interviews and everything. So I kind of feel you when you talk about that and and that feeling you get when you build something from scratch, right? And especially something that's as important as what you're doing with a hearing aid and everything. It gives you this feeling. It's like of course everybody wants to make money, everybody wants, but that feeling you get when you accomplish something and you put something out there that it's life altering in a way that it's so beneficial where someone who might have never been able to hear before now is using your device, right? And,
Yep,
and so
that's
now
right.
their first sound is because of you.
Exactly. It's life changing. And I've seen so many real life experiences where people just light up and they couldn't hear for 8 years. And suddenly, using this bone conduction headphone with amplification, open ear. So now people with tinnitus can actually minimize tinnitus, and they're not going, driving them crazy, hearing all these muffled buzzing sounds constantly. People that had like gun incidents where they blew out their eardrums. Now it actually penetrates through that damaged wall through sound vibrations. It goes into the good ear, right, the inner ear. So now they can suddenly hear before they couldn't hear anything. It was blocked out, right? So it's crazy how this technology now it's it's much more innovative now than it was many years ago. And because hearing aids hasn't changed very much over the years, people are just excited for something new. So now, because I have this new product that no one's heard of, and I've done my homework, I've done my events and test people, I've tested thousands of people. Now I got partnerships with senior homes. I got like working with indigenous communities, just like different areas, different avenues, children with special needs. So this can go in so many directions, and it's something that is a necessity. What's more important than sight and hearing, right? So because I have my partial blindness, I resonate with my clients, and I don't push my sales. I just tell them, hey, like, think about it first. Watch this presentation and like go, talk to your loved ones, discuss it. I want to make sure you love the product. You actually take the time to use it and learn how to use it. And ones that do have actually maximized in their results. Right, it's the ones that are kind of like used to the old ways. They don't want to try anything new. A lot of seniors are shrunken back. They want to get help, but they don't want to get help, kind of thing, right? It's like they want help, but they don't want to learn how to get help. So I made this the most senior friendly as possible. Like the new 2.0 we have has been breaking records the last 2 months. So yeah.
Awesome. So why is hearing technology so expensive, and who gets left out because of it?
Sorry, what was the second part? Who gets what? Sorry.
Who gets left out because it is so expensive?
Oh, who gets left out?
Yeah.
So I've been asked that. Like I think it's expensive because obviously they grossly overinflate it to make money, but then also because a lot of these are big companies, they have a big overhead, so they gotta they gotta charge a lot more. They advertise more, they market more, they have more global presence.
Yeah.
For me, I like the affordability factor because I want people that are low income that can afford it. Because low income people can't afford thousands of dollars, let alone a couple $100s, right? So, and my dad's one of them. He lives in a subsidized housing where people pay $700-800 a month, and they get government money every month, and that's all they have, right? So they got to really be careful how much they spend. So I realized that a lot of people, because I do a lot of presentation in more wealthy communities, so they're able to make the purchase very easily. But we're getting grants from different places, and we're trying out these projects, these pilot projects, where we're actually giving very discounted headphones for these residents, right? For these seniors that have nothing to wear. They don't even have hearing aids, so they're just going about every day with nothing. So their hearing is just getting worse and worse. So the moment they have something like this, it automatically improves their life substantially, right? So that's my goal, is to provide affordable hearing to everybody in the world. Because imagine the third world countries, people just like South America, like Africa, like everywhere in the world could use something like this, because it's outside the ear. You don't need to stick anything in your ear. It's like it's nothing intrusive, so you don't have to worry about earwax built up. None of that like direct damage to your ears. So it's I think it's completely different. It's everything is polar opposite than hearing aids, and because it's more affordable, people are just radiating towards it, and they think that that'll be like the biggest competitor down the road, or even now.
Yeah.
Because they just haven't changed anything. They had the opportunity to change their design. It's just so small, it's so finicky, and people are just sick of spending so much money, and they lose it so easily too, right? So they lose it, they gotta buy another one. Like, even though the first one's covered, now they gotta pay for the one they lost. So a couple more thousands of dollars poured out, right? So And people ask me why I don't make it medical. That's another reason why I don't make it medical. Because
Mm.
if I make it medical, then I got to put up the price a lot higher because I got to put it through all these testing, and it costs money to do that, right? So I like it where it's in retail. You know, I can sell it retail. It has the recreational factor, but then it also has that medical factor that allows me to sell anywhere I want, right?
Yeah.
And it's affordable. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So when did you realize your mission wasn't just a business idea? It was bigger than you. It was bigger than when you had what originally envisioned.
Yeah, like I think just started working with seniors on the daily. It made me realize how what a void is missing. Like such a big void is missing. It's in a tapped market. There's so many senior homes in the world, you know. Like, and I've made a big difference in just my city alone. So, and of course, they're rooting me on because I'm the local city boy. Not many people come out of the city, like, be able to do something so impactful. So because because it's actually helping people, and I see how so many seniors are, lacking participation in senior homes. They're not socially active. They're just shrunken in. They don't feel involved in conversation. They have hearing aids, they don't even wear them. That's another problem. So I started seeing so many different things, and I was like, this product can actually cater to them. It's just a matter of if they come out of their comfort zone, right? So 2 years later, and now I have this 2.0 version that's completely revamped, completely upgraded.
Hmm.
People are starting to wear them. I have like dozens of people wearing in different senior homes. Before it was just like one or two. Now it's actually growing in numbers because they see Bob wearing it, and Bob, obviously knows what he's doing, and knows his stuff, and they're like, oh, okay, Bob wears it, then he must really, we should try it too, right? So more and more people are trying it, and they're liking it, and giving me positive reviews because they just love how light it is, how comfortable it is, how easy to use it is, and it actually really delivers results for such a fraction of the cost of hearing aids, right? So it's a good backup or even a primary for seniors right now. So um, yeah, it's just good to have it just in case you lose your hearing aids, you damage your hearing aids. Um, no earwax built up. It's just so many positive things out of this product. So
Awesome, man. Yeah, definitely. That's very important. So, what's one misconception people have about an assistive tech like what you have?
a misconception.
Yeah,
Um,
because
like the difference between the two, like the hearing aids and
yeah,
mine, or
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Like why
like,
they should try mine, or
yeah, like
like
what do they think? Like, if just even with the fact that using an assistive device to help them
yeah.
hear, what misconception are there out there that that people who use these devices that they're lacking something? What is it what is it that you want them to realize that, hey, just because there are people using these devices, that they still have a lot to offer, and
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, I would say because my product is open ear, right,
Mhm.
and hearing aids are in the ear,
Yeah,
people are automatically already drawn to it because they're just sick of sticking anything in their ear. Like, there's people that just allergic to the material. They can't have anything in their ear, so therefore they get rashes. They get it irritates them, so they just can't wear them. So this is the only direction they can take, right? There's people that just started getting hearing loss, and they don't want to spend that kind of money for hearing aids because they just started, getting it, right? So this would be a perfect, introductory, and so it helps people with mild, moderate, to even some cases of severe hearing loss. So I would say, like 80% of the seniors I work with worked well, and the other 20 didn't because their hearing was so severe that even their hearing aids aren't working very well. So therefore, my product has limitations too, right?
yeah,
So I always tell people it's a person case by case scenario. I don't want you to think that you wearing my product is going to cure your hearing, or like it's going to like be as long as it improves it and they see the improvements, and it's for them it's night and day, then it's a win-win, right?
yeah,
But I would never tell people like it's going to work for everybody because not everything works for everybody for anything. So you got to be realistic, and people appreciate that. And when they try it doesn't work, then they know like your hearing is just too severe. But another cool factor is that you can combine the product. So my product, because you were on the outside, you can actually put it over top of your hearing aid. So people that have really severe hearing loss and their hearing aids do not pick up everything, they don't want to spend more money. They put it over top and actually re-enhanced everything. So now they can hear far away again. And it was pretty amazing. These are 95-year-olds that double stack it, I call it, and they're like, whoa, they're like, I can hear like so far away now. I can eavesdrop again. And for them, it's like I don't care if to wear 10 headphones. They're like, I just want to hear. I just want to hear. They're just like, I don't have many years left. I just want to hear my grandchildren talk. I just want to hear the birds chirping, and something so minor to us could be
Yeah.
so major to them, right? So, yeah.
Absolutely. So how do you stay grounded with when life pulls you back into, like, especially like you mentioned last year, you and your girlfriend broke up, and she was a major part in helping develop the person that you are today. How do you stay grounded, right, when you go through this heartbreak, and but you like, all right, this is, I'm hurting, this is really painful. How do you use that to fuel what you're doing? Like, how are you taking that energy and you're like, you know what? Yes, it hurts. She was a big part of my life. Yes, we're no longer in a committed relationship, but we're still good friends. How has that kind of like driven you to what you're doing right now? What kind of, like, the
Yep.
impact of that?
Oh, huge impact. And we talk like every couple of days still. It's kind of weird. We've been both been single for a year. The dating things is very different now. Like dating apps are just like a lot of fake profiles and catfishes, and for me it's like I'm 44, and like she was like 12 years younger than me. I know I look young, but it's it's hard because my social life, I have no social life really as much because my eyes are I've lost my peripheral on one side, so I can't see up, down, left, right. She used to be the one that has to hold my hand and guide me everywhere, so I would without her I'd trip and fall. I'm a danger to my I'm a hazard to myself. So I actually don't go out that much anymore, and I removed a lot of my toxic friends, circle of my friends, and that's 95% of my friends. I had like a lot of friends, and now I only have like 5 or 6 close friends, which is fine. Quality over quantity, right? Like, and it wasn't until our breakup that's when I found success in my business, which is kind of weird. Like, I think I was too laid back when we're dating, because maybe I depended on her for a lot of things. And the moment I start seeing that I actually was making a difference and all this creative juice is coming out, and I actually uh, could actually like build partnerships and actually do presentations and convince CEOs, like to do Zoom calls, and that made me realize that I have some skills and I have something that I can offer to the world, and I didn't want to just hold back. That's why I go like 1,000 miles per hour. People like they're like, slow down, you talk too fast. It's like I'm like, I don't, and I sleep very little or here, because I have so many ideas, and these ideas I would never push through if we're dating. Like I was just way too comfortable. Now, when you have ADHD, when you actually really like something, you put it all into it. That's why ADHD people are different. Like I never read a book in my life. I can't concentrate reading a paragraph. But then memorization, I memorized 1,000 songs because I love singing. I memorized trivia for sports because I love sports. I can like, I know this player, that player, his stats, everything off my
Yeah.
head. And of course my business. Like I learned everything, about different hearing losses, and like just the whole, it just everything I believe in, I love, is just
Yeah.
I put it all into it now. So, and yeah, that's what I do.
But my next question is about the device itself. Where did you where did you was it something that you created, or is it something that you use, a device you saw and you're like, man, I really want to take that and build it and promote it? And how did the whole idea of the the hearing device come about?
Right. So my family owns factories in Asia,
Yeah.
right? So they own electronic factories, and we're just pondering ideas. And she just started giving me ideas. At first, I wanted to do like earbuds, but then I realized there's so many earbuds out there, and I was like, I don't think it's something I want to do. And then she's like, how about this open ear bone conduction headphones? And then there's so many of those out there too. So I was like, I don't want to do that either, but I like the technology. I like the fact you went over top. So then we start pondering more ideas. I realized there's no one out there that has the amplification added into it. So now bone conduction headphones like shocks, you can listen to music, talk on the phone, stream, and that's it. That's all you use it for. A lot of people use it for jogging and like meetings and stuff, right? You'll see a lot of people wearing them everywhere. Very comfortable, right? But ours is like the amplification is the key, because now people can use it to socially engage like a hearing aid, but I don't call it a hearing aid. It's an assistive hearing device, because now you can wear this like a headphone, but then you can use it to start talking to people and like, so have sound clarity, right? And now people can use this as a positive hearing aid. So now it becomes like hearing aid. So people have that choice now, right? If they want to use this as a product to socially engage with other people, um, and also have the other components. Now you can also use it to talk on the phone and watch TV and listen to music. Everything is like one giant, like multi-dimensional product in one, right? So we trademarked it all across North America. Took 2 years to register it. So my Flow True Balance, now it's trademarked. It's registered in China as well, right? And so my family, we start pondering ideas, and they're like, oh, that's a great idea. And then they start sourcing me out to bigger manufacturers, because I told them my dreams.
Yeah.
They said they probably couldn't handle that kind of like quantity.
Mhm.
So this is where right in the beginning I really felt that I believed in this product. So we met some suppliers, and they were also have the same kind of idea. So it was just us kind of putting our heads together. uh, I put in my own brand. They patented it, they trademarked it, but we always have idea. I always have ideas with them to what to change and what to, because they don't have the North American or global reach that I do. Because
Yeah.
The English factor, they're more in Asia, right?
Mhm.
So they're kind of just stuck there. So then now I'm like their voice, I'm their face. So together we're like working in perfect harmony, pretty much, right? So I have exclusive rights to it, obviously. So um, because you know yeah, I think it's just something, and no one else has even like bothered trying to even tweak it out or do something similar, because you can't just have a product you just throw it on Amazon and expect to sell it, right? For me, it's like I don't do Amazon. I would sell it outside, because I want to make it organic. I want to make it like a something authentic, a brand people can trust, right? That I'm actually there testing people. I'm actually there presenting to people, and people really are impressed, and like they're really like amazed at like how much I do and how much I connect with the community, and that's why they trust me to buy it, right? Because people want to try it first. They don't just want they don't Most people don't just buy things anymore. They want to try it, especially if it's hearing or sight related.
Mhm.
um, and yeah, it helps people with sight problems too. So people like me, it helps people with sight problems. It helps you navigate, helps you be alert. So
And you've mentioned you're partially you're blind in one eye. It was what was the cause of it? What had happened that it and how has your blindness helped towards, especially the empathy you have towards everyone, like everyone else with a disability, and the motivation. I know it's part of the motivation to building the device and doing what you're doing.
yeah, it's been like 11 years since I've had a retinal detachment, right? And I didn't know what it was back then, but I had the signs of it, but I didn't know what it was, like flashing blue lights. Like for me, I thought it was a helicopter flying, like flying around or something, right? When I was driving, but it was actually my retina detaching slowly. I didn't even know it was signs. But when I woke up one day, I had a black curtain on one side, and I was like, "What the hell?" And then I waited too long. I was like, oh, it'll come back, and then it's actually bad because it's getting worse, you know. So then I finally went to the hospital, and they're like, okay, you waited a long time, and you have 48 hours to get this surgery done. You can lose your vision completely. So
Wow.
then my family's crying. They're like, oh my god, you know. So then I got it fixed, and then I had so many complications with it after, and then I had two cataract surgeries done after too. So usually only people in their 70s and 80s and 90s get that. So that's where I met a lot of seniors. They're like, did you get in a boxing fight or someone knocked out your eye or something? I'm like, no, it happened spontaneously. No one knows why, but my vision's -9 and my astigmatism is -4. So they said that might be the reason.
Oh man.
But but the retinitis pigmentosa is something that's genetically it's a genetic mutation in my eye. So then I started noticing like tripping on stairs, walking to things. I'll shoulder check people on one side. Um, People would shake my hand on one side, I won't even see them, and so they just kind of stand there with their hands sticking out the whole time for like minutes. And my ex would be like, sorry, he's blind," and I was like, "Oh, hey, sorry, man," and they're like, "Holy, you're blind." I was like, and I just kind of joked around with it back then, but
Yeah.
it hurt my feelings for a bit because my friends would kind of make fun of me, and I always had to be guided by somebody, and I would be kind of like prideful. I'd be like, "I don't need your help. I don't need your help," and I go to the washroom and I don't come back because I'm feeling my way in the
Back.
walls.
Yeah.
It's so dark, right? They're like, "Where did he go? Is it half an hour?" And then, um, so yeah, went there and got tested. They're like, "You have retinitis pigmentosa. You lost your peripheral, so you only have tunnel vision on one side, right?" I'm like, "Oh, that's why I'm hitting people. I'm tripping because I can't even see my foot. I can't see the sky.
Yeah.
So I'm walking into trees and branches. You know, my ex, so she was a big helpful factor. Like I don't think I ever appreciate her so much till now that no one helps me anymore. So now I'm super careful around seniors, especially. They have breathing tubes and stuff. You don't want to step on that, right? So now it's yeah, I'm an advocate for it. Like I talk about it. I
Yeah.
want to be more known out there, and I'm on a waiting list actually for this new gene therapy that they call it, that's supposed to help improve it. Because right now there's no cure, so it's just gonna get worse and worse till it gets into my central where I become blind. So
Oh,
that's very scary. It can travel to my other side too, right? So that's why me and my ex we traveled to 36 countries like in the last 11 years. It's crazy. Like we just travel the world just to see as much as we can because I didn't know when my eyes was giving out. So that was a big factor, and I'm really glad we did because I've seen volcanoes, I've seen icebergs, I've seen like puffins, and I've been all over the world. It's just captivating. I love it. That's the thing I love to do.
yeah. Absolutely. Man, this has been wonderful. I appreciate you coming, stopping by and sharing your story and sharing all the wonderful things that you're doing. But now we've come to the part of the show where you get the spotlight, you get the solo screen, and you get to plug away and let everybody know where they can find you, your website, everything.
Awesome. Yeah, so I actually have two websites now. So I have www.theinnerflow. So THEINNERFLO.com. So no W. Some people get the W in it and they get lost. And also have .ca now. That's Canadian. So I have one that's for the Canadian base and one for US and international. And they're both amazing. They have technology. It talks about testimonies. It has information about myself and online shopping. I have blogs on there too that I do regularly. So and yeah, YouTube too. We have YouTube, the Flow Group. Instagram too is the Flow Group. So yeah, lots of stuff going on. Dragon's Den audition next March, and Legacy Makers, which is coming out in January. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you, Michael, for being such a wonderful guest. I appreciate the time.
Thanks for
Um,
having me, man. Thanks for having me. It was great. Yeah, it's like talking to a buddy.
the pleasure's all mine, man. This is good. It's always important, and it's crazy because we a lot of the I relate with a lot of the things you like when you were talking about how you do everything and you need to eventually let some things go, and that's how I am. Like this is my baby. This is my podcast is my baby, and it's kind of hard to kind of release the reins to someone else because you know the work that you've put into everything you've done, and so I can like your story resonates with me because it's kind of mirrors the things that I've been doing, and so I appreciate you coming on and spending time with us and letting my audience get to know you and get to hear your story and your experience. So thank you so much. I greatly appreciate your time.
For sure. Oh, and one more thing, I like to give people a discount promo code. So for checkout, seniors 10. So seniors with an S 10, and you get 10% off on the product too. So yeah, it's under $300, right? So yeah.
All right, awesome. But don't leave just yet. Let me close out the show,
Yep.
and we'll chat a little bit off the air. But thank you
For
so
sure.
much.
For sure.
Thank you for being such a wonderful guest. I appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks for being a good host, man.
Thank you. Oh, wrong button. All right, everybody. Another great episode is in the books. That was straight fire. I appreciate Michael coming through and sharing his story. It is definitely it's inspirational, and I definitely appreciate his time. If today's conversation moved you, don't just let it fade into the background. Go support the Flow Group and help spread a mission that's actually changing lives. You can learn more and get involved at the Flow Group. Is it's theflowgroup.com, Mike?
Yep. So the inner flow, actually, it's the
The
inner
Inner Flow.
flow.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
the innerflow.com. Yeah.
Innerflow.com. So
SEA. Yeah.
yeah, so definitely go check that out and go support them and show them nothing but love, everybody. So appreciate it. Share this episode with someone who needs to be reminded that where you start does not dictate where you can go. Your story still being written. Make it count. You know how your boy Wise does it. Peace out.